What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Episode 2, which just dropped on HBO Max last night. It's going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, make sure to go watch the episode. But you have, let's get into it.
Could have ever imagined.
Alright, the first thing that I want to say about this episode is that the opening of it is just like the first episode, but it's even better. It's so strong. And I like how they are showing how these things slash fungi started infecting the humans. It was definitely like a really terrifying moment for me to see because of we see basically the first infected here, which we never saw in the games, and we even saw someone studying the first infected, like actually going into the body and studying it even with a hazmat suit on. It's just terrifying to see that play out because that could actually play out in this world. And then I think it's interesting how they're showing what it would be like if it would happen in the real world because it would spread so fast. And they said in the show, there's no stopping it. The chances for making a vaccine and stopping it before it massively infected lots of people is just so limited. And the only way they said they could stop it was to kill the infected with the bomb. We basically have to drop a whole entire atomic bomb on a part of the world if this actually happened, which no one would prepare for, and we wouldn't be able to do it. So we would basically end up like this show if the infected actually happened. That's why I really did enjoy the opening, because it's such a strong message of what would happen if this happened in our world. Of course, we did have something like this happen with COVID, but not like the zombie infected virus. I also think when we do get back with Ellie, Joel, and Tess in the actual episode after the intro, the outside shots of all the damaged terrain in the buildings is pretty cool to witness in live action. Since in the game, I played the one on the PS4, so it wasn't that like detailed, so you couldn't see what's going on. But in live action, how they made these sets, it's pretty cool to witness because it's also strangely beautiful, but all at the same time, it's very terrifying to look at what the world has come to in that sense of in that world that they're in. And then when Joel tells Ellie, she's in the building of the Boston Museum, I'm pretty sure. When Joel tells Ellie that she's such a weird kid, it actually got a pretty good laugh out of me because it's such a simple and subtle joke that would also happen in the games. I'm not sure if that joke happened in the game because I can't remember all the dialogue, but it's such a funny joke in my opinion. And then when we finally do get inside the Boston Museum, we hear the first scream and sounds of the clickers, which were almost identical to how they did sound in the games. And the real practical effects for them were so realistic. And whoever played the clickers in this show has the movements down. Like, I remember playing in the game for the first time, seeing the clickers and hearing them was terrifying. But in the show, it's on another level of terrifying. Like, we get many close-ups of them in the show, and they look so real. They look so real. I can't explain it, but like seeing that in real life, if that actually happened, I wouldn't be able to fight them. I would die. I would just give up. It's hard, but they need to start shooting them in the heads, man. I remember playing this in the game. I would go for the headshots, but I would of course miss. But Joel, Ellie, and Tess, they have to shoot them in the heads. I don't know what they're doing shooting them in the bodies, but the clickers are already more terrifying than the walkers in The Walking Dead. The clickers can run so fast at you, even though they can't see you. Their hearing is too good. It's too good. It's kind of crazy how good their hearing is. Because in the game, I always got killed by them many times because I was too loud, but their hearing is just too good. Like I said, the close-ups are pretty horrifying because of how much they have changed. You can hardly recognize that they're once humans, which is pretty sad to see. And then we get the infamous plank scene of Ellie walking across the two buildings from the game. I love that shot. I love when that happened in the game. Such a beautiful shot. Then they have to go to the Capitol. We soon get to the Capitol, and we learn that Tess has been infected, like in the games. But Ellie's bite is, of course, getting back to normal. So Joel finally, he leans into the idea that she is actually immune, and they got to take her to Bill and Frank. But Joel shot the. I loved it when Joel actually shot the one infected, because there was a one on the Capitol floor that was starting to get up, and Joel actually shot that one in the head. But I loved the detail, because in the beginning of the show they said, Joel and Tess said, if you step on a fungus or fungi, they basically, it spreads miles and miles, and if you step it at one point, it could awake certain infected or clickers like miles away, and they would exactly know where you are. And that happened at this moment, because the infected that Joel killed was connected to some form of fungus, and I loved how it like subtly moved, and we saw the other shots of the other ones moving, and they're starting, now we see that they're starting to run towards Tess, Joel, and Ellie at the Capitol. I thought that was such insane detail in storytelling. I really did like that new addition to how the fungus work. And then when Tess, I love Tess's idea of trying to blow them up, but the lighter's not working, and you see all of them start coming in the building when Joel and Ellie leave, and they're all coming in the building. Tess is trying to light the fire, but we get one clicker that's coming towards Tess, and she's not ready for what's about to happen. But I wasn't ready for what's about to happen, because I was not expecting basically the infected kiss, I'm gonna call it, because I don't think that one wasn't a clicker yet. It was like half clicker, half infected. But the kiss scene, oh my gosh, what was that? That was an insane choice to pull off in this show, and I think it pulled off amazingly, because the Tessa's game death is something that we really don't see on screen. They just do leave her in the Capitol, but we know that she did die. But this scene, we actually do see her death, of the infected basically kissing her and transferring the virus through the fungus, which is pretty horrifying to look at, because I would have just shot myself in the head rather than letting an infected infect me with the fungus like that. But that scene was really well shot and like really well staged, in my opinion, because it's pretty horrifying to watch. But we do see that once she starts getting kissed, she does get the lighter lit, and so the whole Capitol bottom kind of blows up, which we do see from the outside, like Joel and Ellie see. I feel that was a good change also. I love that scene. All the tension in the Capitol was great. All the tension inside the buildings, the Boston Museum was great. I loved how it's very similar to the game, but also very different, just like the first episode. And even though Tess died, I think we had a fun run with this trilogy of Tess, Ellie, and Joel, and they all had great chemistry together. Overall, I thought the episode was amazing. I think I'm going to rank this episode higher than the first, because I think this episode had so many stronger moments, with the stronger opening, that when they're inside the buildings, we finally see the clickers. I think this episode's dialogue was also amazing. I wasn't bored at any point. It was just under an hour, which is perfect for an episode. I could have taken much more hours. I could binge this show in one day if I wanted to, but I do love the weekly episodes HBO does. But overall, I found this episode to be amazing. I can't wait till episode 3 next week. Leave your guys' thoughts down below, what you guys thought of the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next video.